Gamer Gacha. Game on.
Hello everyone and welcome back. Pilot Saito here, ready to fly high again and destroy what enemies come my way. And this time I am so not testing flight underwater again. Not after receiving multiple kicks to the stomach to gain conscious again. I mean, what the hell? If you were going to save me, then chest compression or CPR would have been more accurate to do than kicking me to death, as those methods are less painful. Then again, CPR might not have been the best idea, as I am not sharing my first kiss with a man or a woman unless she's cute. But let's leave that aside. Today, I'll be playing a game called Iridion 3D. So with that being said, let's begin playing the game. Alright, Iridion 3D, let's begin. Stage 1, escape through the disposal tunnel. So with that being said, let's begin. Alright, now let me explain to you about the game. Iridion 3D is a quasi 3D rail shooter video game developed by Shinen Multimedia, a launch title for the Game Boy Advance portable game console. It was released in North America on June 11, 2001 and in Europe on September 21. The player controls a single starship defending Earth from the alien Iridion. The game spans 7 levels from Earth to the alien's home planet, each following a linear path that culminates with a boss. Why does this story awfully sound similar to when I was playing Phalanx A144, the Enforcer Fighter? Phalanx, the Enforcer Fighter A144. I gotta get the name right. Yeah, it kind of sounds similar to that. Well, at least the protagonist doesn't have a love interest he has to return to. Iridion began development as a shooter for the Game Boy Color when Shinen decided to drop development and shift their focus to the Game Boy Advance. Iridion was the first game by the developer to appear on the system. Though built as a 3D game, Shinen used real-time encoding and resizing to manipulate the size of 2D sprites instead of creating a true 3D environment. More room on the game cartridge was available for graphics due to the game's use of the Gacha sound engine, which allowed real-time decoding of song data in a small file size. On release, Iridion garnered generally mixed reviews. The graphics and sounds were generally praised. A year after its release, critics at Extended Play still considered it the best-looking game on the platform. In contrast, critics derided the game's repetitive and frustrating gameplay. Despite lukewarm reception to the title upon release, Iridion 3D was a financial success and influenced future Shinen shooters such as Iridion 2 and Nanostray, which I'll play in the future if time be. Well, I can understand the gameplay being a little frustrating because, I mean, come on, it's something like a 2.5D type of quasi-real shooter video game when I usually play the 2D type. So yeah, this one is a little bit hard to grasp than usually all the other space shooter type of video game that I usually play. So I can't blame them for thinking that way. Even I am having a hard time playing this when I usually play the 2D ones. But hey, what can you expect? It still looked very interesting to me, so I decided to play, no matter what it was. Well, let's just hope I can, how do I say it, get through this game without dying once, when I usually have done it in all the other games. I'm just saying so because, well, this one is too new for me to handle. I practiced enough, but hopefully I can get the hang of it now. Alright, the gameplay. The game is a simple forward-scrolling rail shooter similar to the Star Fox series, only the Game Boy Advance directional pad A and start buttons are used during gameplay. The ship remains locked at a set speed and cannot brake or speed up. Unlike the Phalanx the Enforced Fighter A144, I guess it just doesn't have that sort of settings. Now, time for the first boss, the Refuser. By the way, it also the boss's diagrams is also showed up to show you what the boss will look like. This one looks like a core area, like the core of a ship or something. And here it is, the Refuser. The weak point is the green cylinder in the center of it. I have to hit it as much as possible while avoiding the bullets it shoots at me, as well as the bombs that are floating around it, around the cylinder, the core of sorts. Let's just hope I'm careful, because I don't think I have much shield power left. I mean, I have to dodge it more than focusing on the attacks. By the way, that almost looks like a binary helix, a DNA hybrid sort of thing. You know, something that exists in us. Oh well, with this, the first stage has been completed. I don't think I'll be needing the password, considering I'm going to go through this. Stage 2, Dogfight above the Pacific Ocean. Yep, dogfight. Really? Alright, here we go. Guess I'll be dealing with a lot of obstacles that will be coming my way. Okay, as I was saying, the player encounters more than 15 types of enemies, not including level bosses. Some are easy to destroy, others including the fire creatures found on the Iridion homeworld in stage 7 are indestructible and must be avoided. Other enemies prevent the player from dodging enemy fire by laying mines to block paths, like these mines that will be coming up soon. Passive objects such as garbage or asteroids can damage or destroy the player's craft. Enemies can vary in armor and weaponry. Some cannot return fire, but travel in waves to ram the player. Yeah, that can be annoying. The player's ship can use 5 types of weapons with 3 levels of power each. Yeah, like you already know that since I did one in the Phalanx Enforced Fighter A144. Increased power and increased damage. Yep, there's the bombs. Players boost weapon power by collecting power-ups that match the current weapon's power. Collecting a different color gives the player the first level of the weapon type. If the player's ship is destroyed, the power level of the weapon is reduced by 1. Flashing power-ups restore the craft shield. This one is gonna be a little hard to, what's the word? Accurately attack it. Because, I mean, this is like a 2.5D. I don't even know where I'm shooting. Am I shooting at the right direction? Or in the wrong direction? I have no idea. Not to mention, I don't even know where the bullets are coming from that I have to dodge them every single time. Come on, come on. Yes, got it. Man, that was hard. Each level has the player follow a linear path through waves of enemies and culminates with a boss. In boss stages, the player craft does not move forward but hovers in front of the boss. Say I hovers, but it's also another way. Each boss has a single vulnerability which flashes when hit. These areas are often heavily shielded and must be hit repeatedly to remove armor. Other bosses' vulnerabilities are hidden and appear for only short periods. Most bosses have weapons that fire upon the player or reflect the player's shot. At the end of each level, players receive bonuses for defeated enemies, lives remaining, and the energy level of the player's craft. An extra life is granted if the score reaches certain thresholds. Yep, it's because it's reaching certain threshold that I have gotten up to 7 lives. Yep, I got 7 lives. I plan to get a high score, but with how many times I keep getting damaged, my energy levels just keeps on depleting and I'll never be able to get a high score. But hey, as long as I can complete this game without losing even a single life, I guess I can call it a satisfactory win for me. Here's the second stage, the Sight Actor. Seriously, I wish these diagrams would be formed a little faster. So it's a ship. Alright then. Its weak point is the head, the rotating head. So time to fire. It plants mines as well, so I don't have to worry about the mines considering they are very far away from where I'm trying to shoot. When it starts hovering up, I have to try dodging it or go down here so I can avoid enemy fire. And now here comes enemy fire number 2. Gotta be careful. Just a few more hits and I'm done. The color is changing, which means I'm almost close. Wish I had stronger weapons for this. Okay, come on. I can do this. Darn it. I really don't know where to dodge. It's really hard to tell. Alright, stage clear. Well, the energy bonus was kind of obvious to begin with. More lives mean more life bonuses. Stage 3, air combat above the clouds. Alright then. I've done many air combats, so this is nothing new to me. Now then. Now let me tell you a little bit about its story. First I'll grab this and get myself a power up. Okay, the story. In the opening cinematic of Iridion 3D, Earth is attacked without warning by the Iridion, who take over much of the surface and lay mines in orbits and bombs in the Pacific Ocean. The player is the pilot of an experimental SHN fighter, the last hope for defending Earth from the Iridion. Like I said, it sounds awfully familiar to Phalanx, the Enforced Fighter A144. The player pilots his ship alone against hordes of Iridion fighters and natural obstacles. The early stage begins on Earth, with the player fighting through an Iridion garbage tunnel. As you see, the player proceeds to the Pacific Ocean, destroy the Iridion invasion fleet on Earth before heading into the stratosphere, which I'm doing right now. Yeah, that's gonna happen a lot. So, let me tell you a little bit about its development, how the development team was focusing on making Iridion financially successful. Manfred Lindner began developing a shoot-'em-up video game in 1996 on his Amiga computer, but abandoned the project after producing a single level and some related music. Lindner later co-founded Shin Multimedia in 1999, and Iridion began development as a shooter for the Game Boy Color. On January 10, 2001, Shin announced that they would stop making games for the Color, instead working on games exclusively for the upcoming Game Boy Advance. Iridion's executive producer was Dan Kitchen, a former programmer for Atari. Atari, as you know, the console, the very old home console. Although advertised as a 3D game, Iridion 3D uses solely 2D graphics for texture scrolling and sprites which depict explosion and enemies. The developers created the illusion of 3D by looping background textures, a graphically intensive technique for the Game Boy Advance. Graphical objects shrink or enlarge to depict position relative to the player. Level environments feature changes such as progression from day to night. Kitchen Majesco's vice president of handheld wrote that by pushing the graphics hardware of the Game Boy Advance to its technical limits, Iridion 3D provides a truly realistic 3D gaming experience. He hoped that the players would be impressed by the capabilities of a game on a portable system. Well, it is true that I am impressed by how far this game has gone. It is pretty cool, but can be hard to narrow it down with your perspective though. Linzer composed Iridion 3D music. Some of the music has been started before programming of the game itself. The game was Shinnen's first product to utilize the GAX sound engine, GAX sound engine, which allowed real-time decoding of song data in an extremely small file size. This allowed more space on the cartridge to be used for graphics. The soundtrack was released as part of an arranged collection on compact disc in 2003 and digitally in 2010. By March 2001, the GBA version of Iridion was shown in workable form. IGN saw early screens and declared that Iridion was aiming to set the standard of what Game Boy Advance shooters should be, pushing the platform to its limits and producing the most stunning game scene at the time for the handheld system. Time for the next boss, the Stratosphere base, which means I'm going to be exiting the Stratosphere. And that's my enemy. Reminds me of a spider. The weak point is the center of it. While I'm doing that, GameSpot's Ben Stahl noted the excellent graphics and high frame rate, ending with, at this point, Iridion 3D looks like it would be a great game for fans of the genre. This game was one of 17 titles that launched alongside the Advance. Alright, and that's all that I can explain about Iridion 3D, and the boss has been defeated while I was doing that. But I really should be careful from the shots. I really couldn't tell where I was aiming, dodging them. Stage 4, Moon Assault, which means I'll be going to the moon. And here it is. But unlike dealing with just the enemies, I'll be dealing with obstacles as well. Who placed these in the middle of space, man? Wait, let me guess. It was Iridion, wasn't it? Well, I guess I dealt with a lot more obstacles in Phalanx, the Enforced Fighter A144, so I guess it's not that big of a deal when I think about it. But this is like a 3D type perspective, so dodging them is not that hard. I mean, I can tell where they're coming from. It's the enemy shots that I have to be more careful of. That's the one thing I'm having a hard time dodging. Like, seriously, where are they going to come from? Yeesh. Gotta be careful. I may think of things like, I hope I can pass this without too much trouble, but who am I kidding? These obstacles and the enemy shot together makes a devastating blow to my, well, focus. I'll have to dodge both the obstacles and the enemy shots. There are also purple types of weapon power-ups as well. By the way, I may have forgot to mention, but there are different types of power-ups in this game. Just like in Phalanx, this one works in different ways as well. Let's see, the red one is just a simple standard shooter type of bullets. Not very powerful, but it has a standard rating. Then there's the green one, which shoots like a shotgun and spreads in wide areas. It doesn't focus on one area, it spreads everywhere. So I wouldn't recommend the green power-up. Those are horrible. As for, there's another one, the purple one. The purple one are like plasma shots and can focus on one area, but they're not very powerful, so I wouldn't give them a good enough rating to begin with. Then the next one would be the which one? Right, the yellow power up, the yellow one I'm using. The yellow power up is actually a very good and strong weapon. It's like a star shots towards the enemy, and it's good. That's why I'm using the yellow power up instead of the green or the purple one, or the red one for that matter. But the most powerful one of them all is in the final stage of this game, and hope I can pick them up and not lose a single life so they wouldn't return to level 1. Yikes! Lots of enemies! I said I wanna get a good high score, but how am I supposed to get a good high score when I'm dodging every single time? And I can't even destroy those obstacles that are in front of my path. Usually the shots don't pack a lot of firepower, but if you come into contact with passive objects, yeah, they damage you a lot. So yeah, I have to watch out for those barricades that I'm all confronting actually. Right, time to go and confront the next boss. Stage 4, Lunar Guard. This one's a spherical boss. Kinda reminds me of a bug actually. Those blue balls are actually protecting the boss. So I have to make sure my shots land exactly on the enemy and not on those spears. Which I have done, and I have won. I wish I wouldn't get damaged so much. Well, as long as I'm not losing a life, I guess that counts. Stage 5, Outer Space Asteroid Field. Asteroids, I hate those. Okay, come on. Whoa! Looks like I got a new enemy that can shoot 5 shots in a single time. Not only do I have to worry about the enemies this time, but also the asteroid that I'll be encountering as well. If this was in 2D, I would be able to tell where the asteroids are located and where I'm shooting. But since this is like a 2.5D, 3D perspective, I have no idea where I have to go. I mean, I can continue shooting and make sure I don't hit those asteroids, but that's all I can hope for the best. Until then, I'll just have to dodge as much as I can. Ooh, good thing I didn't hit that asteroid. Or not getting shot as most often because I'm dodging like a coward. If I can just find a point where I can dodge those shots while attacking the enemies, I might be able to handle this without too much trouble, but no, I don't have that knowledge and focus that I can't even tell where I am. I wonder how the greatest gamers were able to do with this. Well, just hope I can keep destroying those asteroids while also focusing on the enemies. There are also power-ups here, but none of them are for me. In other words, they're not strong. The only weapons I'll be using for the Iridion 3D game is the red bullet type shots, the yellow star shots, and there was the final blue shot. I think it was. I guess I'll tell you about it when we reach the final stage. But yeah, those ones are very good. They're the best of the Iridion 3D game. In the Iridion 3D game. I guess I'm close to the end because I am out of shield. Nope, not close at all. But I did get a good score. Alright, time for the boss. Boss, the Prospector. Looks like looks like a spaceship hidden inside an asteroid. And I was right. It's hidden inside an asteroid. That means the core will, once the core is out, then I can shoot. But I have to dodge as well. Well, this makes it extra difficult. And I don't have much shield power, so I have to be extra careful. Darn it. Yep, just one more shot and I am dead. But not to worry, cause I defeated the boss first. Whew, that was lucky. Stage 6, Iridion home base. Just 2 more stages and I am done. So this is the Iridion home base, huh? Those aliens sure are intelligent to be able to make something that defies the modern physics or the elements of surprise. Like seriously, what are those aliens? I mean, back when I was playing Phalanx, even the alien's face wasn't shown, but there were a lot of enemies that I had to be careful of. And in this one, it's the same. They were able to make this facility. They're aliens who are trying to destroy Earth. I gotta hand it to them. They really planned all this. Still, isn't this like a suicide mission, letting a single pilot to, you know, try to attack the Iridions, the aliens, everything that comes your way? Just go in groups and now and then, but doing it alone, yeah, that's calls for a suicide run. Like seriously, game, what are you thinking? Letting someone go alone to save their home planet? Well, I mean, there are brave people who would try to do that, but still, it's like a suicide run. Give me a break. At least try to care for them a little bit. Like my sister would say, it's called humanity, brother. At least care for anyone who risks their life to save the others. Like I played in Metal Slug. Yeah, she said that to me. Well, it can't be helped. That's just how the game is, the story is, the plot is. Yeah, I'll just have to make do with what I have. Seriously, I can't tell where I'm aiming or dodging. But either way, that's over with. Time for the boss, Reactor Core. Since this is the Iridion home base, I'll be destroying everything, and the Reactor Core is the the central nuclear core that I have to destroy. But it's like a living, breathing thing. If it's trying to shoot at me, well, it has its defense system, so it does work in that way. I just don't have to worry about the shots in the front, but also the shots on the sides as well. But oh well, it doesn't matter because I won. By the way, even when the boss is destroyed, you still have to dodge the shots that are coming your way. It's not like everything is over just because I said so. Stage 7 and the final one, Planet Iridion Prime. Time to end this, Iridion. And there are asteroids as well. When the asteroid hits the ground, just try to avoid them because of the lava splashes. And here comes the new power-up that I want so badly. The blue power-up. This one shoots blue types of fire shots. And I said this before, but it's the strongest one in the Iridion game. And since it's strong, it doesn't require that many shots to destroy an enemy. And I wanna hit the enemies, but missiles will not let me. Yep, just in 4 shots I was able to destroy that enemy. If I get and the last one, the 3rd level, I'll be able to defeat enemies very easily now. But not the enemies that are going in a circular motion. If I could just aim at the center, I might be able to defeat all of them in one go. But who am I kidding? I have to dodge enemy shots. I can't stay in one place after all. Alright, I may have forgot to mention, but the rainbow power-up is actually heals all your shield. Man, I gotta remember these things. Why did I forget to mention that? Even if I get more power-ups, it's not like it'll help me out. Well, there goes my shield. Good thing I got it handled, otherwise I don't know where I will be shooting. Same goes for the asteroids. Still difficult, but handling it. I can understand lava erupting, but why did they have to be in the form of a fire dragon? Then again, this is the Iridion home base, so I think anything is possible at this point. Because the powered-up cores come in the between, the shots don't go through. That's why I have to do it around it. Alright, time for the final boss. The mainframe, which looks like a giant lion face. Lion face is the mainframe? Yeah. Either way, if I remember correctly, this one has 3 phases. This one is the first phase, so I have to avoid both the shots and the flamethrower. Yep, the flamethrower that's coming right now. Going around it might be a wise choice because I can avoid the shots and the flamethrower at the same time. I was going to say be careful of the shots, but no, I didn't. Ow. Ugh. Even with the blue power-up, it still takes quite a lot of shots to defeat this thing. Now it's in the second phase, where the flamethrower will be coming towards you as much as possible. It's like, what's the word? It's like using physics to rotate it in a motion that you would never expect. Like, I don't know where it's rotating. Either it's rotating right or it's rotating left. Rotate in many directions and uses the laws of physics to move in that. Yep, second phase completed. And time for the third phase. Yep, remember when I said the lion phase is the mainframe? That's the lion phase. And this one has 2 flamethrowers. Since this one doesn't move, I am getting a little hard time to tell where is it trying to shoot its flamethrowers. But hope I can be careful. Oh yeah, I did it, baby! The Iridion 3D game has been completed! I did it! Final boss defeated! Yeah! Woohoo! Well done! And I guess I'll end it off here. Thanks for watching, everyone. Well, that sure was a close call. As I said before, this is the first time I ever played a 3D like space shooting game when I usually play 2D ones. Not to mention, if it was first person perspective, then I would have understood where those shots were coming from, but in the end, I couldn't handle the 3D like perspective of the game and got shot multiple times. Good thing there was a shield to protect me from all those hits, but if I was having a hard time now, then who knows how hard Star Fox game will be when I start playing it. But until then, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell for next week's reminder. Until then, I'll see you all in the next video. Take care and see you later. Now then, it's time to face my glitches. If I can guess correctly, since this is space related, then that means... Ha! I knew an asteroid would fall on me. Thanks to Jasmine's strength potion that I took beforehand, I knew an asteroid would be coming my way. But it was a one-time usage, so I'm glad it's that taken care of. Now I don't have to worry about any danger this week.
Oh, hell no, I'm out of here.
Kill me! I'm in constant pain!